This is the first of two Necron bases. You can see here I've got an assortment of plastics. And there's different shapes, a bit hard to see. We're going to cut some of these plastics up and glue them onto the base. We don't need to be too precise. Most important thing to remember is to make sure that you don't end up putting so much onto the base that the feet of the model can't sit. You can see here I've still got plenty of room for the model to be able to sit on in a bit. Another great option for this is to go through your leftover spare bits from off your sprues, and maybe you can use some of those bits as a way of being creative and putting some sort of character onto the bottom of your base. Next, we'll have to start painting it. For painting the base, we've started off with wine oxide. Next, I've got some lime medium and I've mixed in some weathering powder. You can use water or terps to turn the weathering powder into a liquid if you want, but when you use those methods, as it dries it will basically turn back into a dust, which is why I've used the lime medium instead, and it will help it to not turn into a dust basically. So we don't need to be too precise, just apply it in a somewhat random manner. Like I said, this is just to try and do a easy, simple type of base with a very simple rust method. I will have some video coming out at some point soon showing different techniques for rust, multiple techniques, but this is just a simple one. For our second Necron base, first roll up some green stuff. Some of these bases where you've got this piece here, it sticks out. If it does stick out, you want to cut that off flash. So first we covered the base. Next, apply some water. And then we want a piece of plastic to rub over the area to get it to smooth out. I'm spreading it a bit more because it hasn't quite gone to the edge. Now we've flattened it off at the top, remove the excess. So again, a bit of water on your tool. And a bit of water on there again. Now this is a little bit tricky because it's a bit small, but be careful. We can try and smooth this edge off. Now comes the more fun part. I have a series of pieces of pipe which you can get from a hobby store. Most of these pipes cost about £1 each in length for a reasonable sized length. The main thing is file it down to make sure it's level and to make sure there's no rough pieces of plastic on the edges once you fold it down. If you can't afford to get loads of different sizes of pipe, another alternative for you is your paintbrushes. So the paintbrush itself, nowadays they come in a tube, so you can always use that tube. And if you consider it, that's a slightly smaller tube, and the tube it covers your bristles as well, so you'd actually got 3 different tube sizes there if you want to try and save a few pound. The main thing to remember now is each time you want to apply something, make sure to add a bit of water, and that way it won't stick. So I'll dip the pipe in some water first, decide where I want to place it, and pull it out. Next, we want to add some lines. Again, we want to add the water first. Helps if you don't drop it. You may have noticed when I tried to put this line in, I went into the middle there a little bit, so it only actually takes 3 or 4 minutes really to actually make one. And here's one I did a long time ago, which has got a miniature on it. For painting the base, this is the colour I'm starting off with first. And because we've got those indented patterns, what we want to do is we want to use the flats of the brush and not the front of the and not the tip. So by using the flat, we can do it in such a way that we don't get those inside pieces where those indents were. If you've accidentally gone into areas, you can always go over the white paint just to touch it up. Next I'm using this blue, but I'm adding a lot of water to the paint. So this way it'll flow nice and easy. And I'm now going to apply that into all the recesses. I've done it a bit quick, but if you wanted to put the time into it, you could make it look like it's glowing from underneath or something like that. But this video at least gives you an idea of something different you could do for the base for Necrons.